So most of us are familiar with the story of Moby Dick. Captain Ahab is the captain of a ship called the Pequod, and he's a whaler, which means he goes out and kills whales for a living. And one day when he was trying to kill this great big white whale named Moby Dick, the whale turned around and bit his leg off. And because of that, he got very, very mad and decided to seek revenge on Moby Dick. Now Moby Dick is a story of obsession. Not only a story of obsession, but the anger behind it. Also, Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, is considered the best Star Trek movie of all. And it is also a story about obsession. In it, we meet a man named Khan Noonien Singh, who was a product of genetic engineering. And him and 80 of his followers went into cryogenic suspension, and Kirk and company woke him up 200 years later. And the first thing that Khan did was try to take over the Enterprise and threaten to kill Captain Kirk. Now, Kirk and company save the day and defeat Khan. And in the end, Captain Kirk drops all the charges and gives Khan exactly what he wants. As Khan said, a world to win, an empire to build. Not only that, but he allowed the woman that Khan loved and that loved him, which was a member of Kirk's crew, to go with him into exile. Now, Captain Kirk and company left Khan on a planet called Ceti Alpha 5 and went on their merry way. Unfortunately, 6 months later, Ceti Alpha 6, the planet next door, exploded, shifting the orbit of Ceti Alpha 5, and the entire planet was laid waste. And now there was one creature that was native to Ceti Alpha 5 that survived. But unfortunately, its baby, it's a little thing about this big, Its babies, it's called the Ceti Alpha eel. Its babies crawl into your ear and wrap around your cerebral cortex and slowly strangles you and kills you. And this is how Marla MacGyver's, Khan's wife, died. Khan blames Kirk for this and seeks revenge. Okay. So Khan actually manages to grab a hold of the starship and goes after Kirk. And just like Captain Ahab wants revenge and takes his crew into a situation where he thinks he's going to win, but ends up killing himself and everybody with him. Khan is obsessed with paying back Captain Kirk, and he actually says, "I've hurt you and I wish to go on hurting you forever." So they set out on a voyage of revenge, and they end up killing not only themselves, but everybody, except one person survived, and that was Ishmael and Moby Dick. Somebody had to survive to tell the tale. See, Khan and Ahab's afflicted mind was so focused on a perceived injury that nothing else mattered to them except getting their revenge. One was on a whale that was simply trying to protect itself, and the other one was on a man who went about his life and gave everything to this guy he wanted, and then went about his life and didn't come back. And each of them came to perceive that an injury was done to them, and it was done with malice. Ahab, when talking about Moby Dick, said, "He tasks me, and I'll chase him round Good Hope, and round the Horn, and round Norway's Maelstrom, and round Perdition's Flame before I give him up." Khan said, he tasks me, and I will have him. I will chase him round the moons of Nibia, and round Antares Maelstrom, and around Perdition's Flame before I give him up. Both of these need for revenge and brought disaster to everything and everybody around them. And even at the very end of their lives, they continued to hate. They both said, "To the last I will grapple with thee. From hell's heart I stab at thee. For hate's sake I spit my last breath at thee." And then they died. Now think of the anger that was in that mind right before death. Where do you suppose that mind ended up? And I'm going to refer you back to a BBC that Venerable Choni did 4 days ago. And also to the BBC that Venerable Samton did yesterday. Now granted, these are extreme examples. But all we have to do is look at the world and we can find these extreme examples in our own world. Think of the mind that will hijack a crowded airplane and fly it into a building or into a mountain. Think of a mind that will strap a bomb onto you and walk into a crowded bazaar and blow themselves up. These are extreme examples, but they happen in our world. So who here has not perceived that somebody in their life has harmed them? No one. According to Buddhism, in our past lives, we've been capable of, and we have done, these very minds and acts that we're talking about right now. Me, when I get angry really quick, but then I get over it really fast, fortunately for me. I recognize that my anger is not helpful to the situation, and that if everything is empty, then it doesn't really matter. And it also that if I'm angry, that the karma that I'm creating is only going to be harmful to me in my next life, or in this life. But it's only going to be harmful to me. It isn't going to be harmful to the other person that I'm mad at. See, anger and revenge is a state of mind that you do not want to take with you when you die. And when we're angry, we have to remember that death is inevitable. And it happens to every single one of us. And most of us, we don't know when it's going to happen. It could be in a car accident, or maybe a heart attack, or maybe a meteor falls out of the sky and smashes us. Good. What we're trying to develop here is the opposite. We're trying to develop compassion, a medicine Buddha mind, the mind that thinks, may all sentient beings emanate health and growth in body and mind. May they be relieved of any discomfort or disorder that hinders spiritual growth. May my name become a mantra and heals all ailments. May the sound of my name and the image of my nirmakaya be balm that eases all pain. May the sound of my name or visualization of my image cure physical troubles and sickness. Upon hearing my name, may those who suffer from any kind of hunger, thirst, or cold have all their needs provided for. May their food, drink, and clothing free them from mundane concerns so that they may begin to benefit others. These are just a few of the Medicine Buddha's aspirations. Since it's a Medicine Buddha retreat for some of us, it's something to think about, it's something to keep in mind. Now, this type of thinking is what's going to get us closer to becoming what we want to become awakened for the sake of all sentient beings. And to end this, I want to talk about someone who's been in the news recently, and it's not Putin. His name is Paul Farmer, and he died on February 21st. He was a doctor, a medical anthropologist, and the co-founder of Partners in Health, and he won many, many awards. Now, a medical anthropologist is somebody who looks at a person and or people and their social situations and see how it affects their health care and how they can make things better. I'm just going to say that this is some of the things that's being said about Dr. Paul Farmer. While messages pour out from heads of states and celebrities, it is a unified voice of grief from his colleagues and students that underscores the resounding loss felt within the field of global health. Dr. Paul Farmer was a guiding light and inspiration to thousands looking to advance the health of vulnerable people across the world. He helped introduce a revolutionary concept into the field of healthcare and medicine that has progressively become a privilege to those with money, access, and other forms of power. The revolutionary concept that all people are deserving of equally excellent healthcare. He believed the idea that some lives matter less is the root of all that is wrong with the world. It is but once in a lifetime that a physician so steeped in caring, compassion, and selfless service comes along who can change not only the world for a patient, but who can change how the world understands patients. While a giant has left us, the field of global health will be carried forward by thousands of his students and countless more who have been inspired by his work with the vision of providing equitable health care for all. Now that sounds like a medicine Buddha to me, or at least a bodhisattva who we should and can emulate.